If Face ID is not working on your iPhone, then do this. And by the way, make sure you subscribe. The very first thing we need to check is the distance which you are from your iPhone. I would assume if you are holding it in your hand like this, that you are near enough for Face ID to work. So we need to check on that. Then secondly, on device orientation, on some iPhones, it does not work if you use landscape. So it only works in portrait mode, but this is on some iPhones. Most of the later iPhones or the latest iPhones, this will work even if you are using landscape mode. So you also need to check on that. Then you just need to check if you are not covering your mouth or your eyes or any other body part that might be used to actually recognize your face. The sensors for Face ID will be found at the top there. In most cases, depending on which iPhone you have, it will obviously be at the top, and positioning might differ depending on the iPhone. So what you need to do here is just use a dry, lint-free cloth and just clean that area, because sometimes when you hold it on your ear or you're answering a call or something like that, the oils on your skin, maybe dust as well, just from the environment, they might just blur those sensors or cover those sensors. And unfortunately, the sensors will not work when you're trying to use Face ID. So you just need to be wiping that area regularly, and this might help you when Face ID is not working on your iPhone. Then, if you're using a screen protector like me, be it privacy screen, etc., you just need to check on the placement, because sometimes when they place those screen protectors, they unfortunately sort of cover that sensor, and unfortunately it might affect how Face ID works on your iPhone. So whenever you place a privacy screen etc on your iPhone, you just need to make sure it's working before you leave that place. Now let's say everything we mentioned before is working perfectly, but still Face ID is not working, then we might dive deeper into our iPhone. One option is to force restart your iPhone. I have a tutorial here which you can check out in full. However, in short, you just need to press volume up, volume down, and power button. Hold the power button pretty fast, and then it will restart your iPhone just like that. So you just do this. Then long press. Then once you long press, you just keep holding until the Apple logo shows. Then there it is. So that's in short how you force restart your iPhone, and it fixes most of the challenges. So you might try this and then just check if Face ID is now working on your iPhone. Then another option, you just go to settings, then scroll down to Face ID and passcode. So sometimes people fail to realize that they have not set something for on their options or on their settings for Face ID. In this case, I'll put my passcode. Let me just uncheck it like that. iPhone unlock, and you try to unlock your phone using Face ID, it won't be working. So you just need to check if this setting is turned on, because sometimes it might not be turned on and then obviously it won't work. So you might think that, Face ID is not working when it's just sort of this option that's not checked. If everything else fails, you can set up an alternative appearance. So what this does is you are just setting up Face ID again, but you have the option to either wear some headwear or whatever that might be used to alternatively recognize you. So let's say you're in settings where you're constantly wearing something that is not part of your face, let's say a mask, headwear, etc. In those environments, maybe at work, and you set up Face ID without that sort of item, then it might not work if you are in that setting. So you can set up an alternative appearance whilst wearing that item so that it can recognize you even in those situations. Then if everything fails, it's obviously time to now reset your Face ID. So when you reset this, it obviously means that you are starting the process all over again and setting up Face ID so that it might better recognize you. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up